Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back. We are heading into Tier 4 Mixed. On the left, we have Frame Perfect, and on the left, we have CTL Astra. I am joined by Playback. Hello, Playback. How are we?
Hello, Finny. I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and presumably just like yourself, absolutely thrilled to cast these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always excited to cast Tier 4 as well, as you get to see a lot of higher level plays. Speaking of high level plays, do we happen to have any bans from both teams?
Well, in terms of the bans, we've got a Zarya ban from the side of we've got Zarya and Brig banned here. So the idea being between these two teams, we're seeing a diva composition from the side of Frame Perfect. We're seeing Reinhardt being played. Oh, not a Ryan anymore. It's a ball composition from the side of CTL.
They're just playing tricks on you, Playback.
They have stalling us already.
Okay, so we are seeing Diva come up onto this high, looking for this Lucio. Unfortunately, Lucio does manage to get out nice and easy. Diva is going to be forced back just a little bit. We are coming out on a bit more of a dive comp from both teams. However, it is a bit more diving from the side of Astra, especially on that Tracer and Sombra as well. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to try and prioritize some targets. However, we are seeing the Sombra fall very, very low. It's going to have to pull back just a little bit as the ball is about to jump onto his carry, but they do manage to TP out just in time. Unfortunately, getting found out by Grave here. I mean, you are down to support. It's going to be very hard for you guys to get out of this. As we do see it's Jay get picked off by Grave as well. Ball is looking to slam onto the team. It's kind of pushed back just a little bit as Moving is going to push this. Lucio unfortunately does get DMAxed by Grave. I mean, this Sombra is definitely just doing so much for their team right now. They're just jumping on every person they can. What do you think about that playback?
Grave just being all over the Frame Perfect team. Just constant harassment and pressure, and alongside the Tracer of 69, doing fantastic work in the back line.
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see it. I mean, as you look at the ult economy already, it's very towards the side of Astra. The reducing pulse bomb come out from this Tracer. Unfortunately, not able to find anyone, but I mean, as we all know, Tracer can farm this ult very quickly if they just get enough damage in. We are seeing Bolt ult come out on this high ground, unfortunately, just kind of forcing the side of Frame Perfect on this high ground. As you can't really get out here. It's kind of leaving him into a kill box, if you understand what I mean there. As the ball does manage to get a pick onto this Lucio and 6-9, also getting a pick onto Mewing. Egotistical then get a pick onto Evo and 6-9 finishing off the Genji. I mean, in my opinion, Playback, it's looking that this dive comp is really working for the side of Astra.
Yeah, Frame Perfect just cornered into that room after the minefield restricted their movement by a fair amount. You could see Jay trying to hold that height, try to get something off it, but EMP is used now.
Yeah, we have seen EMP get used. However, Mewing does short the Sombra down really fast. However, Astra does manage to get that counter pick onto its Jay. They are looking for Lucio, but this Lucio is going to get out just in time. I am wondering if they're going to get this flip here with this Genji. Unfortunately, 6-9 is having none of it, taking that Genji down with his blade. However, we are kind of in an even fight here with one tank and the other tanks from each team. We have got the beat come out from Frame Perfect. Is it going to be enough for them to get this flip? As we really need to now. We are going to get this deep roll come out just to try and get that remake here. As you are kind of just scrambling just to make sure you kind of get this point as we are pushing over. And they do manage to get that point flip. I mean, that's huge for Frame Perfect, but it is unlucky as we are seeing Astro come in strong, looking for that Lucio very aggressively here. Are they going to be able to get that final little kill? Unfortunately, I think this Lucio is going to get out. We have to see Konsune come out from Astra here, and they do manage to find Mewing as well, which is really unfortunate for Frame Perfect. At least is going to jump in, trying to find someone. Unfortunately, does get found out by this Tracer, and we are seeing some ults come out here from Itsj. Managed to find the Lucio, but is it going to be enough? Playback? I just don't think it is.
Unfortunately, it isn't, and the entirety of that fight was just swinging back and forth. I mean, the EMP from Grave was kind of a fail as he fell pretty early to it, but CTL Astra managing to find some more picks after. It was just a game of trades, and then the ultimates from the side of CTL Astra just much better and more impactful, really.
Yeah, I completely agree. From the side of Frame Perfect, I'm definitely wanting to see a bit more of a counter dive because we've tried the dive against this team, and it's becoming a little bit clear at the moment that Astra kind of is just quicker on their dives and their approaches, especially with the 2 dive DPS they have with it. So I'm probably expecting and hoping to see maybe like a break. I mean, we are swapping over to this Mizuki, which is definitely going to help against this ball, right?
Yeah, we've got the Cassidy in place as well. Probably trying to keep the Tracer and Sombra in check as a bit of a counter as the fight begins. Trying to play together in a Death Volley style at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. We did just see how Mizuki can really play into a ball there with that little chain ability. Jay just managed to silence the Sombra as we were on about earlier. However, 6ix9ine has none of it and just managed to pick off the cast with the Genji coming in, clearing both the backside. I mean, what a huge, huge play for Frame Perfect. There's exactly the momentum they need right now, right?
Well, Optics finding himself on the kill feed 3 times there, but a large part of it was thanks to Jay with the counter swap to Cassidy. Keeping that, if he can keep that Sombra in check, I think Frame Perfect can do a lot of work.
Yeah, I completely agree. As we are seeing right now, the ball is trying to look for a pick here. However, the Optic is going to find this Tracer here. I mean, where was this Genji in this first map? I mean, it's definitely showing very strong here. It's Jay then also getting a pick onto Astro. I mean, just as I was saying that I wanted to see a bit more of a counter dive, they are showing me exactly why they needed that, as it's seeming very dominant now to Frame Perfect. They seem like they've got their stance on this comp.
Yeah, I think with the Cassidy in place now, Optics just focusing on pressuring the squishies and getting some picks here. I think it's enabling them to do their job better, but Jay falls very early.
Yeah, we are seeing that. However, Mewing is going to get that pick onto Easton. However, 6ix9ine is going to get another pick onto Evo, farming this Tracer pulse. However, ult economy from both sides is looking very dominant towards Frame Perfect as you have these ults from the supports as well. And your DPS, pretty much all around for Frame Perfect. However, we are going to get a bit of trades here. We still have our D.Va on point. However, it is a 3 versus 3 at the moment, actually. We are getting this castle come out. We are seeing Lucio hide behind this pillar for dear life. We are going to get caught out just a little bit by Easton, but unfortunately, they are able to get out. I mean, we did use a few ults there, but I do feel like we still have the better ult economy right now, as we do only have this Sombra ult from the side of Astra. It's going to be really interesting to see how we can utilize the Sombra ult, maybe trying to use it just to help it here. However, we do see it come out right now with the Mizuki ult coming out. Definitely going to help the side of Frame Perfect with this Mizuki ult, especially as you are all hacked at the moment. However, we are getting a few ults come out from Frame Perfect with the Kitsune and the Genji Blade. Are you going to be able to get a touch with Optics? Just having none of it. They are just going to get 2 with their ult here. Sombra is going to try and get a cheeky little touch here with Lucio also trying to touch. Unfortunately, they both get picked off by Mewing and Optics. I mean, Optics that round really popped off. I feel like they really work together as a team, don't you think, Playback?
Well, Optics having a bit of a generational submap there.
Yeah.
But also the defining moment was probably when it appeared that Frame Perfect would lose that team fight around the 50-60%.
Yeah.
And they did have 5 ultimates, but they didn't just dump it all in an attempt to win it. They started off with a high noon, forced everyone away, zoned them out really well, and then they started to use the ults slowly but surely. Pop the Kitsune, then the Dragon Blade was amazing. It's just great usage of the ults from Frame Perfect. Very defining moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's the joy of watching, like I said, these higher tiers. I mean, I personally like watching them just to learn as well. As if that was probably me, I'm probably throwing every ult in there, if I to be very honest. But it's very good to see them strategizing the way they do. But coming into this fight, we are having this mirror of this D.Va. We are swapping over to Soj as well, and Grave is going to swap onto that Tracer. It's going to be interesting to see how a hit scan will play into this, as we did only run 2 flex DPS for the first 2 points. But as you see, we are trying to control the target. I'm afraid Purple with 6ix9ine getting that early pick onto not Joshua and Astra, then following up on that, get a pick onto Optics. I mean, it's really interesting to see how quickly they're adapting. I mean, from the first map onwards, like first map, it was very dominant to the side of Astra, and then in the second map, they came into it with like a bit of a counter. And now again, Astra's coming back again, if you know what I mean.
It is both teams adapting to each other really well, but Frame Perfect will want to adapt faster than they did last time around, as this is just the one map to play. But a good shot from X69 just paved the path for them for the previous team fight.
Exactly. I mean, we are coming in here with
And again
getting another pick on It's J, and Egotistical then get a pick onto Optics. I mean, what are you going to do here? Because we are seeing a Surge getting really good initiating picks, and we have the ult economy coming from the side of Astra. We had that pulse come out, getting that DMAC onto Devo. We are going to get an unfortunate stagger here.
Oh dear.
Oh no, that's so unfortunate. That's really unlucky for Frame Perfect, as we need to have our Diva here, as your rest of your team are just going to get dove onto right now. And it's coming on to 65% playback. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, it's looking very dominant right now to Team Astra.
They've been staggered out about 20% after the Diva stagger. Unfortunately, not able to regroup. They do have ultimates coming up. They have the double support ults. They've got the High Noon almost there, but there is the beat to match a lot of these ultimates. So it's just a matter of which team uses their ultimates better.
Yeah, and we are seeing a huge beat come out from Eastern, getting that early pick on it. It's Jay. Unfortunately, you do not have that castle anymore. With that pick onto Evo as well, I mean, not to call it out early, but it's looking very dominant. However, Optic is going to get a pick onto Egotistical. It might be an initiating pick for all of them. We do have this Diva Bomb. I would recommend getting onto this point, and unfortunately they C9, which means it is now 1-0 to CTL Astra. I mean, it was a really good performance from both teams, right?
It was first map CTL Astra dominant, second map Frame Perfect dominant, and then third map it looked like we would see that kind of a back and forth, but unfortunately you can only play an odd number of maps. CTL Astra in the last team fight, the ult advantage, no one had an ult advantage. It was fairly even, but the fact that they played fast and played first meant that they picked off Jay first, and then picked everyone off before anyone got to use their ultimates. So the 4 ultimates that they did have, Frame Perfect, not able to use any of them at all.
Yeah, I mean, initiating the fight with that beat and just getting that speed advantage and just catching out its JL is generally just what won him that end fight there. I agree. But I mean, we are gonna go for a little ad break, guys. I know we hate it, but we have to. We have to. So please stay tuned. We will be just back after this little break. Thank you.
Greetings!
Greetings.
It's lovely to have you guys on board with us as you're watching Frame Perfect versus CTL Astra, as CTL Astra have a 1-0 lead. For the bands here, we've got what have we got, Finny?
So for the side of Frame Perfect, we are seeing this Soj ban. I mean, I think that Soj ban was definitely from that 6-9, that last map. When they swapped onto that Soj, it was just pure dominance getting those initial picks. So I am thinking that's a bit of a target ban. However, vice versa for Astra, as they have banned this Mizuki. I mean, that Mizuki was definitely giving that ball some issues, especially that chain ability, just stopping them from being able to move and just allowing the whole team to focus the ball. It's definitely why I imagine they need to ban these two characters. So it's going to be interesting to see how we play without these characters now, as I feel like them two characters definitely was like a dominating force for both teams.
Most definitely. From Frame Perfect, they'll be thinking, force the guy off of 469 off the Soj. But now without the tether to stop the ball, it's going to be interesting how it goes, as Astra already working his magic in the back line. But Grave will find Evo right away, and then Tail! It's a double kill for Grave already. Astra will find Josiah. Optics and Mewing though, getting a couple of trades back in Frame Perfect's favor. But the point pressure, too good from Astra and Easton, and it is a CTL Astra fight win. Although Mewing does find another pick here.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a good pick for the side of Astra. Unfortunately, they weren't able to follow through with these initial picks, as we are seeing that Frame Perfect are going to be able to get the point flip. I mean, 30% is definitely respectable, but I just generally think that what happened is when certain of their players got caught out early, meaning that Frame Perfect were able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, the thing is that those couple of trades in Frame Perfect's favor really helped them, but and then Mewing used that to his advantage and just ran at the Astra lineup. Really solid way of taking a point back, but right now there's point pressure from the side of Astra, but then Josiah finds Egotistical. Grave will find Optics, and 6-9 bursts Mewing down. Evo trades out 69. Tail will find the ball here. Grave is still doing work on point as the flip goes to Astra here. The High Noon, not quite a pick, but will find Easton right after. The Pulse Bomb, but it is Suzu'd out. Grave here finding a 2v1, not in his favor. And Frame Perfect just about managing to cap.
Yeah, I know. I'm really enjoying this. This pressure this ball is making on the point. It's the main reason how they're able to get this point with. As we are seeing, currently with 6-9, they get a pick
down early though. Mewing will trade Ego right out, and then 69. It's an amazing piece of play from the Junker Queen. Although there's mines on point, so it will take retaking this point a little bit more difficult for Frame Perfect. But they have great high ground control with the Cassidy and Kiriko. The Astra falling very low here. Mewing and Easton, well, Mewing and Josiah trying to find this ball over here, and they will. Tail will finish the ball off, and the flip goes back to Frame Perfect. It doesn't look like there's much of a touch in here. Well, Grave will just about touch it, as he's Mewing will find Easton here. Important swing of the axe. Tail will finally get Grave, the one who's been contesting this point for a while. And goodness me, intense. But first blood is for Frame Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Frame Perfect are really just holding down the fort. However, what I am really enjoying from the side of Astra is that they are just constantly making the other team aware that they need to get back on point. And they're putting that pressure on the point, which I feel like can generally just create a lot of issues in your team. However, Frame Perfect are managing to take that pressure very well. I mean, you are coming into this fight with all 5 ults, all very good ults as well. You've got this Lucio ult. I'm looking to see maybe a beat engage.
They are. They've initiated with a High Noon here. Taking a point early for themselves. There is a beat. It is a beat. And it's at the perfect time because the blade is not going to be able to get value. But Optics will live because of it and somehow find Easton. Despite the blade being beaten. But Grave will trade Optics out. even fight. 4v4. Mewing's falling a bit low, but Evo will find Egotistical. Mewing will use Rampage just to live that. And all in all, unbelievable, but a clutch beat from Josiah that lets Optics live and trade.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, that beat just completely saved most of their team. And then we did use quite a lot of ults from both sides, but I mean, if both sides are using ults, it's definitely not a bad thing. I mean, you've both still got this Kitsune ult, so I am probably going to see maybe like a Kitsune ult from both teams just like to combat each other. But I definitely need Astra to try and do a little bit more here, as it is looking very dominant for Frame Perfect. As we are seeing the Kitsune ult come out nice and early.
Nice and early, and Tail will find his counterpart first up and help with killing the Tracer as they take advantage of this Kitsune and keep pushing forward. Oh, this is going to be a stagger and a half. And
they're just getting the revenge from the last match, if you remember.
as great as a revenge as it gets. And now it's looking dire for Astra here to touch. Someone will need to touch. They still have the Russian hand, but Grave will fall. The one that was meant to touch the point for them is looking more and more grim now, but 69 will get a touch. The Cassidy, Mewing falls, however. Losing the tank could be detrimental to Frame Perfect's plans. And somehow, some way, despite losing Grave early, the flip is up for CTL Astra.
Yeah, I mean, that Kitsune was perfectly timed. I mean, once you lost your Tracer, it did look like they had no chance of getting to the point, but you did see this cast come through the bottom high ground here, and just be able to touch her really quick, and then the Kitsune ult came out, which really caught out Mewing, as they were literally just in the middle of the Kitsune ult, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately by himself there. But they've decided to come from this left side here, Frame Perfect. Looking to have some impact for this as Tail pops the Deadeye. He's Suzu'd here just to help him live. Not much value here other than a bit of zoning. Now the counterpart, 69 Deadeyes, falls really low. Mewing will finish him off. And Mewing will find Easton right after. The Tracer of Grave here. It's a great clip onto Josiah. But is it going to be enough? Because it is a super hyper disadvantaged fight. Grave doing everything he can on point. But the Pulse Bomb is Suzu'd. Grave doing everything he can to touch here, but it's not enough being alone as on the point as Frame Perfect secured second point.
Yeah, I mean, Grave is really good at stalling that point on Tracer. I mean, they kept on doing it every single game. It's definitely interesting to see how that works, but I just want to give a little highlight to Mewing here. They are really doing a lot of work on this Jungle Queen, getting those initial picks, catching out the supports when they are just a little bit not in the right position. Which is really good to see a tank really engage on that. We are coming into this fight though. We do have this Jungle Queen ult and we do have this Genji ult and both the supports as well. As for the side of Astra, I'm not seeing many ults being able to use. As we are seeing this Genji ult come out, Mewing is going to find Easton there with 6-7 finding options.
It is an advantage fight here for Frame Perfect by a little bit. The one person up here, and the flip trying to get it as well. Mewing will find 69. Although the Mauga on point could be a little bit of an annoying factor. Well, he gets burst down pretty quickly, and with relative ease in the end, Frame Perfect drawing first blood on this point.
And they only used one ult to do that as well. Definitely a good fight for Frame Perfect, as you still have 4 ults ready for this next fight. We have got a bit more ult economy, we have got this beat, and we have got this Tracer Pulse. I'm definitely trying to see this Tracer Pulse, maybe try and find one of the supports or the DPS here. Which will definitely help their team, or maybe a beat engage from Eastern, but we definitely need to see something.
It's attempted here, but it's Suzu with relative ease. The Mauga of Astro engaging, but that's beats being matched with each other. Tail will find Ego with the High Noon. Grave will trade Optics, and then 69 finishing off Josiah with a flashbang. Mewing with a good Rampage though, finding Easton with it, and will help in the cleanup.
Just going crazy. Honestly, what a fight there for both teams, but unfortunately we did just have the better ult economy from the side of Frame Perfect. We still have this Kiri ult as well. We saw earlier in that cast fight, the cast did get that early pick onto Egotistical, which is really, I think, why it went the way it did, as you had no response for Mewing's ult here.
Yeah, and they're happy to hold that high ground for a bit. The High Noon comes out here from from 69, but it's just meleeed out by Optics. Optics on fire inside this point. The Kitsune Rush comes out, and Egotistical still couldn't build her rush in time. And, well, Frame Perfect bouncing back strongly from that first map. Not even much of a contest. Beautiful Junker Queen gameplay, and overall a great bunch of team fights. 1-all.
You could say that was frame perfect. Oh. Anyway.
I see what you've done there.
No, yeah, frame perfect played that perfectly though. Like, genuinely, just like from ult economy, when to use ults, when to respond to their ults. And they always stuck to what they needed to as well. Like they always stuck in that same comp because they knew it was working, and CTL Astra didn't have a response for that, which is really unfortunate. However, like as we saw in the previous map, we have seen CTL Astra be able to come back again. So it's going to be interesting to see if they try and take that on for the next map.
Most definitely, and with Frame Perfect putting on a show for that previous map, CTL will know that this team is not to be messed with. They will have to bring their A game here. Do stick around though, as we are gonna go on another ad break before map 3 begins, which will be CTL's pick and first ban. Welcome back, Kaizen. We have this Frame Perfect versus CTL Astra game. Right now, it's 1-all as Frame Perfect pulling it back on Atlas with a beautiful Junker Queen composition as Astra have taken us to watch point here with an attack first. And what are the bans here, Finny?
So for the side of CTL Astra, they did manage to ban this Cass, which is definitely a good ban for them, as we have seen a Grave on this Tracer definitely getting shut down a lot more by the Cass. So having that free will on the Tracer is definitely going to help him, especially with the stalling of the point, as we do know that Grave is very good at. As for the side of Frame Perfect, they are target banning this D.Va. I mean, as much as it was quite dominating for Frame Perfect last map, I do think that D.Va definitely helped the side of Astra. So I am probably just not wanting to play to D.Va, maybe force this monkey comp as we are seeing here. But it's going to be interesting to see how they play this map, especially with the changes on Gibraltar.
Most definitely, and you can see why the cast ban was invited here, as they're running this Winston dive with the Ana Kiriko. Both sides are, in fact, and there's just pressure on this broken bridge here. But X69 will get traded. Will get traded out after taking out Tail. This fight is very much taking place on this high ground here. Optics finding picks of his own, but trading out with Easton himself. And this high ground still being fought for very heavily. Ego will fall to Mewing. Look how deep Mewing is. But now Mewing is on the payload here, trying to keep Grave in check. High ground's being fought for here by X69. So Astra will find Tails on the Freya, and X69 takes out Mewing. And despite losing some players early on, the attack spawn comes into effect, and CTL Astra can start pushing the payload.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of back and true trading there, but fortunately for Astra, they were able to get these picks. Maybe that cast ban is
oh my
definitely
god, Brave is going absolute bananas in the backline. Finds Mewing as well. Unreal bit of Tracer gameplay, as that very decisively helps them cap A.
Yeah, I mean, as you said earlier, like that this Tracer is popping off, especially not having that cast now. Definitely going to be interesting to see how we do against that. We are swapping over to this break a little bit, and not to mention as well that 6-9 is back on this Soja as well, which we did see from that first map, was very dominant. So I feel like Astra have kind of got their ideal comp right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do here. I mean, we have got a few ults from both sides, but it is looking very dominant towards the side of Astra. So it's going to be interesting to see what ults we see.
It is, and Mewing engaging with a jump onto the payload. Astra will find first blood here though on Josiah. 6-9 with the beautiful rail headshot onto Optic. Tail swapping to the soldier and trading out his counterpart, but will fall soon enough to Astro. And Evo and Mewing probably not going to survive this encounter here. But Mewing will pop Primo and will find the Tracer somehow, juggling the Tracer in a small room. Optics will finish her off. And with the help of this Primal, they're holding strong right now, but now Astro is nanoed. The nanoed Winston coming in will find Josiah. Mewing gets shot down by 6-9 with the Disruptor. The blade comes out from Optics, trying to time the fight around, will find 6-9. Not much more than that despite the nano. But Evo and Tail holding strong on this payload, but Optics will fall. It's a good sleep from Evo onto the monkey, but he's just awoken, and now Suzud and Mewing is fighting a bit of a losing battle here. And with Mewing falling, both the supports will have to jump off and reset for third point.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happened there, I feel like that Genji, with that Genji blade, definitely was a really good initial pick. Unfortunately, I just don't think anyone followed up on that, if you know what I mean. The Winston went back and peeled for the rest of his team. They managed to pick up the Genji, and then we had the Nano come out onto this Winston after they got suited and everything. Definitely what helped them. So it is looking very good for Astra right now. I feel like Frame Perfect definitely need to think about, okay, so we're getting jumped a lot by this Tracer, by this Winston. What are we going to do to stop that?
Yeah, most definitely. Mewing though with his jump, but gets antied early, but doesn't really seem to matter. Finds a pick onto Ego. after Optics finds the Sojourn, and an advantage fight for them. Optics will find Easton. The Sojourn, though, been getting cornered a bit, but Tail somehow manages to live. And fairly clean fight there for Frame Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the Winston jumping in, finding the backline nice and early, was enabling him then to jump back and peel for his team. I'm pretty sure no one from Frame Perfect got picked off there, which was huge peel from Ewing. And again, with ults coming out now, we do have a lot more ult economy to the side of Frame Perfect. We are seeing Winston both drive, and we are seeing the ult come out here from 6ix9ine.
There's the overclock from 6ix9ine, but it gets shut down and jumped onto by Ewing. Astra will trade Optics out though. And now Tail will pop his own overclock as they push in with it. Ewing jumps in, trying to enable Tail to get a pick here. The Winston falling low of Astra, but he decides to primal this. The rally coming out though from Josiah will have to be careful not to fall off the map. Astra trying to do everything he can, get stunned, but will be able to make it out. Ewing still holding stronger at this point. Ewing is in the backline now, getting immense value from cleaving the 4 people in the back, and will pop the primal to get even more value. There's a Suzu out from Egotistical, desperately trying to keep herself and the Sojourn alive. But Ewing is deep into the second point to find Egotistical, but there's 2 picks from the side of CTL to provide them the advantage. Evo though will find 6ix9ine. It's an even fight right now, but the defender's advantage with Frame Perfect. But there's 2 more picks here from Astra and Grave. Still the defensive advantage here in terms of spawn for Frame Perfect, as Optics on high ground trying to keep that Tracer in check. You see the Astra here going for the jump, and the payload, well, is being held for now, but you see it in Astra's body language that they're more than ready to engage at any mistake being made, such as that sleep there onto Ewing. It's a nice sleep, not much comes of it, however. Optics standing up there, waiting for an opportunity, waiting to blade. Astra though onto the brigades of Josiah will fall. Ewing cleaves the Winston. Optics with the blade now, using his Winston's pressure to get some valuable picks here. Will find 6ix9ine. Grave Power in the back. Couple of picks. Pulse bomb onto Evo. Ewing will trade out Astra though. Absolute chaos in the middle of this. Grave finds Optics, but with the defender's advantage, wow, Frame Perfect just about hold on.
I mean, we also seen Grave in this backline. I mean, what a huge play from both teams there. It was very back into, as you mentioned, about defensive advantage, but both soldiers are coming out.
Both OCs coming out here. The Kitsune though from Evo, trying to keep them alive. Tail, beautiful couple of picks. Ewing pops the primal as well to take Ego out. Optics will finish off Astro. A clean team fight with those ultimates. They're staggering the Ana as well. Oh, this cannot be good. The Ana has no way of getting out. A massive stagger, and that may very well bring them into last fight territory.
I mean, let's explain this for the viewers. Okay, so a lot of ults came out there. We did see the Soch ult come out from both teams, with the Kyrie ult then coming out for the side of Frame Perfect, definitely helping the Soch from Frame Perfect to get these initial picks, especially cancelling that Soch ult out. I mean, definitely gave it a lot more advantage for Frame Perfect, but we are seeing this Nano come out onto this Winston.
There's a Nanoed Winston. Dangerous Evo trying to get out of there, but won't be by the Suzu. That's 3 rapid picks from the side of CTL Astra. Tail will trade Grave out though. Maybe there's hope if they can respawn fast enough. Josiah, oh, Josiah almost found the Eastern, but unfortunately a clean engage from Astra with the Nanoed Winston proves to be enough to cap them the point with 6 seconds to spare.
Yeah, I mean, what Astra done really well is them first 2 initial points, they were dominating. They were jumping on people, they were getting these picks nice and early, and really setting a strong stand front for that. They can get these picks and they can force you back, which is really good to see from the side of Astra. However, when it came to that final point, Frame Perfect really got a footing on what they wanted to do. They mirrored that Soch, which definitely I think helped them, as the 6ix9ine on the Soch was definitely just doing so much pressure to the Winston. So mirroring it was definitely the pick there. So it's going to be interesting to see now. Okay, so Astro had a really good attack, but how can you defend now in the same comp? Because it's not really looking like they're trying to switch anything, because if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know? So it's going to be interesting to see how this happens. I mean, as we've seen in previous maps, both teams have have moments of dominating and then not, if you know what I mean.
I do, and Frame Perfect with a rough start to the first two maps, but they did pick it up after, and that gives me hope that this map will be really entertaining, that they can conjure something up on the attack, and maybe take us to a round 3 and a round 4 as the attack begins. They are also going to TP their backline onto that left side. The pressure's coming in really early from Astra. Mewing engages, initiates with a jump. You can see Tail trying to follow up on that engage a little bit late. Disruptor shot out. Astra holding this high ground pretty strongly as Grave tries to keep that cart in check. Mewing engages. Astro tries to keep the monkey in check himself as the cart is moving steadily here. The high ground's still being held, but Optics will fall first to 69. Now, taking that high ground seems like a bit of an uphill battle. Grave is doing work in the backline onto that break, but will trade out 69. It's a great trade and a great headshot. An important one at that, and Sojourns. And the Sojourns are having their battle here as a good angle from Tail, but can he find a pick? Astro still strongly on this high ground. Trying to keep that Sojourn in check. And now engages onto the point. The Suzu out from Evo. Is it too early though? The Tracer still doing work in the backline. And now at this stage of the map, well, somebody needs to take high ground. But, or well, maybe not even, but Optics will fall first again. And this time, Easton taking him out as Astro goes in, finds Josiah. And is on Evo now, but falling really low. But the pocket is just about there in time. As after a long team fight, CTL Astra emerged victorious.
Yeah, I feel like Frame Perfect started that fight off really well. You're pressuring the high ground while someone's trying to push the point under. Definitely what you need to do on Gibraltar, especially in this first point. You just want to distract while you can get some more cart progress. Unfortunately, they were shut down so quickly by Astra. I mean, Optics getting picked off really early there is definitely not ideal. I think having this Winston is not helping Optics either, especially like Winston's a huge counter to Genji. It's not able to get as much value as they would like to.
Yeah, but Tail falls early to Grave, isolated on that angle, trying to put pressure on the opposing backline. Astra will find Josiah right after, and they are going in. They're going in, and Astra's not afraid to because he's got Primal here to live. Won't need to use it just yet. And another clean fight win for Astra.
Yeah, I mean, it's just clean fight after clean fight for Astra. I think what Frame Perfect need to do now is try and get that high ground in the background. You know, with the Brig, the Anna, and the Soj, is definitely applying too much pressure. We are seeing Mewing trying to make a difference on that. However, just get antis, but we are going to get this Primal out.
It's a great Primal from Mewing. That's a great initiation. But the Primal now comes out from Astra as well to match. Optics will find Ego though. There's the rally as well from Josiah to live. The Astra will somehow find Tail. Evo's down to Grave as well. Somehow, despite the rally, part of Frame Perfect getting isolated, but they'll find Grave and Astro right after. It's just 3 of them though. The defenders are coming back quickly. And there's the Nano. Nano Brigitte. That's not something we've seen in a long time. But Ego at this point on for her dear life. Mewing does find Easton, but is it enough? There's the blade out from Optics. With the Kitsune Rush, finds Ego. And well, the Aldum has worked out in Frame Perfect's favor. And they can be the side of as they cap point A.
They definitely needed the Aldum there, especially with the Nano Brigitte coming out. You definitely needed that just to give yourself just a little push, especially coming up to like, last fight territory. You needed to cap that point there, which they did so well. I mean, as I was mentioning earlier, about getting them early picks on the high ground is definitely what won them that first initial fight.
Definitely, and we see the Kiri of Frame Perfect getting traded out for the Souls of Astra. This fight very much still on. There is the overclock from Tail if he wants to pop it and try and find some picks. Probably letting the card progress a little bit though before they do that. Trying to open up their Sojourn's angle here because he will get pressured a lot. He's on this height. It's looking dangerous. The engage comes in from Astro. Mewing counter-engaging. Tail looking for an angle from the top right stairs. Is this overclock gonna get value? The counter OC though comes in from 69. Grave will find Josiah for first picks. Astro will get Evo right after. Tail is falling dangerously low. 69 though with the slightly better overclock as CTL Astra. Well,
unfortunate for Tail. The team just counted them more than the other team. The Winston instantly peeled for his team, and we did see that the Tracer pressuring the break in the backline. Unfortunately, they did manage to pick them off, definitely causing Frame Perfect to come in with a bit of a disadvantage now. As I mean, coming into this fight as well, you only have this Primal, and you are coming up to this break. As for the other side, we do have this Nano, which we have seen from the side of Astra. They do like to Nano this Monkey quite a lot to engage in these dives.
Yeah, and they've done it again. And you've absolutely called it. But Mewing will actually find the first pick. It's the other Winston that finds it. But Astra will find Evo right after. Runs out of resources to sustain herself. Grave will find Optics. It's not looking great for Frame Perfect. Unfortunately, the rest of the team falls. Mewing, though, somehow still managing to find picks. But maybe, just maybe, it is a little too big of a stagger as we approach Final Fight territory.
See, unfortunately, I probably would have tried to dry fight that for the side of Frame Perfect. Maybe using that Winston might have not been the best idea. However, you know, we have seen that Frame Perfect has took nothing and made it something. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can do that here, as it is, as you said, coming to last fight territory. We are going to have to force this point just a little bit.
They are rallies out, but Rally is shut down by Astro. And that might prove costly for Frame Perfect. The high ground's being fought for right now. It's going to be overtime so soon. Evo does find Astro. Grave trades Tail and Mewing is traded out as well. This isn't looking good for Frame Perfect right now. The rally, the counterpart rally will not get shut down in the same manner. But there's the Kitsune. Is the Kitsune good enough though? And an OC from 69. Nothing to match it. The blade comes out from Optics, but he's so desperately low. Grave and Easton will find trades. Optics is shut down with Primal. Astro says, no, I have the better blade. It's called a Primal Blade as Mewing drops on the payload. And CTL Astra with a compact defense to go 2-1 up in this match.
I mean, what a performance from the whole team, really, of Astra. Again, coming from that last game where it was very dominant towards Frame Perfect, and then coming into this game and really putting everything into it. I mean, it's definitely really good to see. I mean, that Monkey from Astro, and also that Tracer from Grave. You could talk about all the team individually and see how they've done their jobs really well. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see coming into this next fight now, as Frame Perfect do have the first ban and the map pick. So are they going to try and maybe target ban just a little bit? Maybe get rid of that Tracer. I feel like that Tracer's been very, very dominating throughout all games.
Absolutely, and you can see why the cast ban took effect. Well, Cassidy, not exactly the greatest hit scan pick on Gibraltar typically, but with the Tracer finding immense value in the backline on a difficult map, mind you, because the Tracer has such a massive responsibility on a map like Gibraltar, very high ground heavy, not super Tracer friendly, and you're also on card duty a lot of the time. So I'm impressed by how well Grave played the Tracer out.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Astra had an idea of what they wanted to do. They wanted to dive and they wanted to give this Tracer as much space as they could in that back line. And getting rid of that cast definitely, as you said, would help that, as the cast normally stays with the supports and tries to stop any like dive that's happening. And we knew that Astra really likes this dive this dive comp. So it's definitely a huge ban. But it's gonna be cool to see now. Now that cast can't be banned again, are we gonna see dominance from Frame Perfect again now? It's all in the air at the moment.
It really is. And to find that out, well, before that, we'll need to take a break and see what Frame Perfect want to come up with, what ban and what map they want to take us to. So do not leave us. We will be right there with you soon. All right, welcome back, Kaizen, as we are diving into map 4, Runasapi. In this game between Frame Perfect and CTL Astra. And Frame Perfect are 2-1 up, so it was Astra are 2-1 up, so it was Frame Perfect's map and ban. What are the bans, though, Finny?
So for the side of Frame Perfect, they obviously got first ban as they did lose that last map. They did want to ban this ball here, which we have seen the side of Astra use a lot, especially in the first 2 maps. I mean, that first map, that ball was very dominating, but we did have that counter to it on the... Yeah, it definitely was. We had that counter to it with the Junker Queen, which I'm quite surprised to see the ball being banned here, but I have seen ball be played on this map quite a lot. As for the side of Astra, they did go after this Genji ban here, so it's going to be interesting to see how Optic plays, because we've only seen them on this Genji here.
Yeah, just the Genji from Optics. So on the Tracer, we'll need to showcase his versatility here, as there's not even the Junker Queen. Both teams running an identical comp here. D.Va, Cassidy. Okay, this is going to be a perfect mirror matchup as they fight on the right side for space, and the D.Vas staring each other in the eyes. But Mewing tries to find the Cassidy early, and they will find the Cassidy. Optics will finish Mango off with the melee. Grave will demech Mewing though. This could be detrimental to Frame Perfect success. Optics falls to Grave here. It's even, but Tail will find Grave. And Mewing's already back in the mech. Somehow, someway, amazingly, Mewing's all of that already though. But will demech Astro first. And will take out, and they will contribute to taking out the D.Va as it's first blood, Frame Perfect.
I mean, finding that cast for the first pick from Frame Perfect is definitely what helped them really get a bit aggressive here. Unfortunately, we did see Optics get picked off by Grave, but unfortunately, that still wasn't enough for Astro, as we did see that Mewing getting that mech back so quickly was able to force so much pressure on them. We are seeing that the Astra is coming back now. We are looking for a bit more aggression from this D.Va.
Yeah, it's a stick on the D.Va mech, but is it enough? It just gets suited out. Mewing still holding strong, although Josiah falling dangerously low here. So is Mewing, but the D-mech onto Astro comes first. But Mango will find Tail for the first pick, however. And Ego will find Josiah right after. Mewing down Mango. It is quite a fight on this long street here. And the D-mech though, well, a self-destruct from Mewing to live. Grave will find Koan though, and then Optics gets booped away by Easton. Optics will find Ego with a bomb here, but it's not looking like enough firepower from the side of Frame Perfect, as they will be forced to back out. And CTL Astra can start pushing.
I mean, yeah, definitely a good fight for Astro. I mean, you've farmed a few ults here. You've got this beat, you've got this Kitsune, you've got this castle, and you've got that D.Va bomb as well. As for the side of Frame Perfect, it's kind of similar thing. We are beat engaging here to get very aggressive, very fast.
It is a hard and fast engage, and the Cassidy's caught out as a result. And that's a high noon from Tail for further zoning, further lethality, and wow, beautiful shot by Tail onto Grave as well. A mini stagger here as Frame Perfect can start pushing bot.
Do you know what, Playback? Can I ask you a question? So when you think of a Lucio player, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a beat engage or a beat to save people, if you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people see a lot of beat engages.
Yeah, honestly, beat engage. Well, there's another beat engage here. I'll have to answer that question in about 20 seconds as Astra tried to do the same. They're not successful though. It's well kited out by Frame Perfect for now. The bot is still pushing for Astra though. And at the moment, Frame Perfect kind of cornered here a little bit. The rush comes out, Optics will fall. It's a good rush from Egotistical. Is looking very successful. And Grave will find Kuan for it. No rush on the other side to really match. Tail will trade Mango out. Gets traded out soon after himself. And, well, Astra there with a beat engage, not initially successful, but able to find picks right after with the Kitsune. Although that is 2 support ults down.
Yeah, I mean, the kite that Frame Perfect done against that beat engage was so good. It kind of made Beat pretty much useless there, but Mewing is going to come
Wow,
in.
Mewing finds the pick right away. Mango with the Deadeye here, looking to find some trades, something in their favor. Not successful though. It's Matrix and Optics finishes him off. Tail now with the counter Deadeye. Will demech Astro, but they can't stagger Astro right now because, well, he dies on the bot for it. Koan headshots Grave, and it's a clean fight win for Frame Perfect. And to answer your question, Finny, probably beat engages because they just feel great because you're just going in. You just want to go,
so
go,
strong.
go. Yeah.
This is a first we're seeing of Koan and Mango, right? It's really good to see these different players come in and make such a good impact so far. We are seeing Astro do a heavy engage here. We are going to force out bomb.
DMAC trying to live with it, but Koan somehow falls. Although Astra will get traded out for it, not able to remake. The beat now from the side of Frame Perfect. Tail alone with his Tracer here though, quite isolated, but somehow hits that head.
What a huge shot.
Crucial! A crucial pick as his team begins to push. Because had Tail lost that, Grave would have been taking the bot to the other side. It's an amazing 1v1 win. And lead taken by Frame Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, what was so good there is Tail, as you said, didn't get that pick. That bot was going to get taken right back to your spawn. We are seeing the Tracer come back onto Tail, getting that pulse bomb, but unfortunately gets cleansed out.
Suzu'd out though. Suzu, it's a good Suzu. It's a good attempt with the pulse bomb. Now Optics looking to get his own impact here. Tail will find Mango with the silver bullet. He's really got a bullet with Mango's name on it. It's a lead in numbers for Frame Perfect as they continue pushing the bot. They're keeping track of this high ground as well. Grave trying to find impact from there. Josiah and Optics both falling kind of low, but Mewing will find Grave. The micro missiles, too much for the Tracer to sustain. Astro on the spot now, but already quite low. The engage was never destined to be successful, unfortunately. We'll have to regroup. But Mango finds Optics there. And that's an important pick as well. Astro gets DMech though. Tail looking for some value with this Deadeye. Mewing is on to Mango now. We'll find the Sojourn. We'll find Astro as well. Mewing will use self-destruct to live. And it's crucial. That means the tank is still in the fight. They're still on the hunt here, looking to keep Grave in check as he's looking to touch here. Tries to find the Lucio. It's a beat engage from CTL Astra. We'll find Josiah for it as he's match. The Marga comes in as well. Astro to help Astra win the team fight. And well, pretty clean beat engage, and CTL Astra long road ahead of them here, about 90 meters.
Yeah, I mean, only using beat there just to get that point back is definitely what Astra needed. Swapping up to that Malga definitely as well for the beat engage was definitely very good last minute decision, as it kind of forced a lot of heavy damage onto Imperfect, which eventually made them get to this point. But we are seeing that we have got
Really
more
is.
to the side of.
It's a Kitsune engagement from Egotistical. Grave will stick Optics. What? A pick on the Tracer with a pulse. Here's the Sojourn ultimate from Mango. Looking for more picks, but Tail will find Easton. Astro, though, will take Koan out. Too much pressure from the Malga. It is a fight loss. They'll have to soft reset this a little bit. But Mewing not really wanting to give this up. Trying to go in as fast as possible with a Lucio right behind him. But Tail, silver bullet onto Mango again. The echo comes out from Optics here. Will burn Ego down. Maybe this echo was the pick all along, or something that is good against this comp. As Tail, another headshot. Brave, he's having a field day on the Cassidy right now, keeping this Tracer in check.
I mean, as you said, Tail's got a silver bullet for Mango. Again and again. I mean, this cast is definitely applying so much damage to Astro and so much pressure as well. It's definitely what they need. But Mewing is going to find Egotistical and Mango here.
It is, and it's a Deadeye from Tail, not successful, and might get traded out by Astro here. But no, the team comes to his rescue. What a clean team fight, and Mewing on fire there, finding 4.
Yeah, and I mean, ult-wise as well, you're looking quite strong here, especially with this beat. As for Astra, they do have this Malgo. I'm probably looking to see either a beat engage or maybe the beat as a
Oh, but
response to this
Optics
Malgo
falls
ult.
early. Could be detrimental. The Mauga's falling low, but the Cardiac will live along with the Pocket. But the pick onto Optics means they might need to reset this frame perfect. And, well, even positionally, they're at quite a disadvantage. They'll need to back out here. Can they, though, is the question. Grave trying to find Tail here. Not successful, but Beats matching. The cage, not quite able to find anyone. Grave will kill himself with a pulse bomb. Mui will fight Ego with self-destruct. And somehow, someway, despite losing Optics early on, here's Tail picking Mango up. Will die for it eventually to Astra, but the cleanup is there. And somehow, someway, how have they turned that fight around frame perfect? They're not even pushing the bot here.
I've got
And
to say,
that will
that
be...
beat,
Wow.
that beat was absolutely huge from Frame Perfect. I mean, just as that cage was coming out as well, and the bomb from the Diva as well, as that thingy forcing Malga to cancel his ult. I mean, what a performance from Frame Perfect there. I mean, both teams had really good moments, but Frame Perfect just kept it going, especially with that cast as well, really just marking that Tracer. Definitely is what helped them here, and unfortunately as well for the side of Astra, they can't ban this cast again, which means they're gonna have to try and find a counter to that, as it's generally just dominating the team. As you said, the silver bullet and the headshots from Tail is genuinely generational.
Sometimes almost feels like Tail was dealing with the DPS almost all by himself,
Yeah.
constantly keeping Grave in check. And you could see Grave contesting that cast, even though it's a difficult matchup for him. But that, like you said in that fight, the beat from Josiah coming out at the perfect time, just before that cage drop, which means the cage not finding the value that it could have. And then, unfortunately, Grave ended up killing himself with his pulse bomb, and then
Yeah.
and then Ego was dropped by the Diva bomb, and somehow, some way, despite not having optics in that fight at all, they've managed to win that 4v5. It was just extremely impressive stuff from Frame Perfect, and just amazing showing
Yeah.
from them.
I mean, coming into this final map now, we are in map 5 territory now. Um, what do you feel like both teams are going to be thinking here? Like maybe ban wise, like I'm definitely thinking that both teams are going to want to try and target ban whoever they can just to get that little advantage. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, you can't ban this cast. So what do you think that Astra's going to do now?
It's really hard to say.
It
Grave,
is.
we've seen the Tracer, we've seen the Sombra from him. Does he go back onto the Sombra again? But it will depend on the map as well.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll pick a map that's more favorable for the more friendly, more flat, more friendly for the Tracer and Sombra to navigate through. But we will find that out as it is CTL's map pick and ban. So stay tuned. Welcome to map 5 between Frame Perfect and CTL Astra. Courtesy of a map win on Runasapi from Frame Perfect, we've got Astra taking us to Blizzard World. And what did both teams end up banning, Finney?
So Astra did end up banning that diva, which definitely is probably what they want, especially with Mewing on that diva. They definitely was very, very dominant. So they definitely want to get rid of that, as I feel like they couldn't really take that diva mirror, if you know what I mean. I think in that last map it was very dominant towards Mewing. As for the side of Frame Perfect, they did ban the Ana here, which I think is generally just to try and force a different play than the Ana break they had in the last similar map to this, like on Gibraltar. Because the Ana break they had was very dominant, especially. And I've just got in playback that we have another greeting.
All right, then.
Count of 3,
2, 1. Greetings. Well then, as we begin with the bans in play and the final map, both teams will be fighting tooth and nail at it, as Astra already falling low to the storm arrows, and they slowly surge forward, but Mewing on the Junker Queen, but 69 will find Tail! Right off the bat, a devastating headshot. It looks like the path has opened up for CTL Astra here. Mewing on the top right here, playing a hit scan angle as Easton finds Josiah on the... And the Astro will find Mewing, who was cornered and had to back away. 69 will find Jay quite late on too, as it looks like a comprehensive fight win for CTL Astra.
Yeah, a very quick fight win as well, you could say. This dive pump that they have is always going to work really well, especially with that Tracer, and especially with 69 on this so just pumping a lot of damage into their team, getting those picks that are needed to be taken.
They really were, and some danger here for Astro, as he gets hindered, but looks to be fine, just jumps out, fighting for that high ground space. This will be the tricky bit here. This is it's a tricky point to attack because of that high ground, but it is flatter than something like an action wall or something, for example. So it is something that Astra are fighting well for. But Jay will find first blood here onto Easton. Astra is falling dangerously low by the skin of his teeth. Gets out. Jay strong on this Hanzo here, holding this height. The re-engage from Astra comes in quickly. Graves' recall is forced though. Astra will find Josiah with the re-engage. The pulse bomb from Grave unsuccessful. Mewing gets traded out, and so does 69 on the side of Astra. And the trio of the Kiriko, the Hanzo, and the Cassidy Tail still holding this high ground strong. Astro jumps up, trying to cause a ruckus here. Tail with the Deadeye, hoping to find someone. Jumps and finds Grave. That is such a clever Deadeye. Jumping down, and Tail with a fantastic triple kill. And in a tricky situation, Frame Perfect find a fight win thanks to their Cassidy.
Yeah, what a huge play from Tail there. I mean, that all dropping it down onto them, finding that initial pick, and then just keep on shooting. Tail is very good at finding clutch moments on the hit scan. It's always what your hit scan needs to be doing, just finding that clutch moment for your team. I mean, Tail
really is, and finds Grave there with flashbang into shots. The Soldier and Ultimate trying to find value with him. On his tail with the Primal. And 69 living it with the pocket, but not able to live any. As he gets Primal bladed there. And wow. The OC unsuccessful. And Frame Perfect living another day.
Yeah, forcing their team back into the spawn as well. They're just trying to waste as much time as they can. Now, with 3 minutes on the clock, you need to waste time here, as you do not want to end up with last point having like 5 minutes on the clock, which is what they're doing so well, with Tail getting these picks, stopping that Tracer from finding value, and then with Mewing jumping into their backline, forcing Astro to have to come back and peel. Exactly a perfect defense right now from Frame Perfect.
Look how well the cast handled the double hit scan, holding the high ground so well. That's the rush here. Rush is being matched, but the Mizuki coming in from the side of Frame Perfect. And the picks seem to be in the favor here, as Tail is putting on an unstoppable showing on the Cassidy again with a double kill. And the Mizuki of Easton getting forced out here. Although Mewing very deep in, Mewing in a lot of trouble here. They will not want to lose their monkey here, Frame Perfect. As Mewing just about gets out, but is being cornered here by Astro. And, well, he jumps back safely. The fight, though, this does enable Astro to take the high ground. Astro with the Primal here, looking for his own Primal Blade. Grave will find Josiah with a Pulse Bomb. A handy Pulse Bomb at that. Tail here, inside the mid kills will find Easton, but it doesn't look to be enough. 69 will find Tail. Korn falls to the Primal, and Grave will use that moment of chaos to C9 Frame Perfect. And CTL Astra still have a fair amount of time to cap point C.
See, it was very, very good defensive from Frame Perfect. It looked like they were going to be able to take that fight. I mean, finding that pick onto the Soj, and then their tail getting that ult out in that Mizuki ult. Unfortunately, we did see Grave in the mix of the chaos, able to just get that point and just get that C9 there. It's so unlucky for Frame Perfect, and definitely something they need to watch out for, as we have seen Grave try and do this quite a lot.
Yeah, a hit and run strategy. If it works,
Yeah.
it works. And Mewing now, though, finding a lot of value on this cleave here. It's a good engage. Both monkeys are in, making a lot of space. And it's a battle of the counter dives here, really. But the Sojourn ultimate, they're overclocked from 69. Oh my goodness me. This man here is running rampant. A quadruple on the OC.
I mean, what an OC that was, instantly shutting them down. They're definitely going to push into their spawn and try and hold them back.
Oh, but the flash on Grave, though, not able to convert this time. Tail. Grave will find Josiah, but the bricks are traded out. Mewing doing good work in the back line. Somebody needs to touch this. The Hounds are touching as Mewing falls dangerously low. Tail will find Grave at last, but 69 with another 2 picks. But there's not enough people left for Frame Perfect to touch point, and it's 2 minutes on the clock for CTL Astra. Strong showing from them.
I think after that C9, they just struggled to get their rhythm back. I mean, they were holding it really strong in that second point. But once that C9 happened, Frame Perfect kind of just weren't able to take back control again, which is unlucky. I mean, sometimes with the dive comp, it's really hard to take the rhythm back. Especially a dive comp so strong from Astra. I mean, the Grave on this Tracer, 6-9 on this Soj, and especially Astro on this Monkey as well. It's very, very hard to try and counter that. But we have still got an attack, and we have seen Frame Perfect, again, as we've seen from both teams, be able to pull it back, and hopefully they'll be able to push this full way through and maybe go into an overtime again.
Yeah, most definitely. And Tail having his moment there on the defense, and I think Frame Perfect just lost their momentum a bit after that C9, like you said, and then just never really got in for grouped up for a proper fight. But and then 6-9 we saw going monstrous on the Sojourn there. That one overclock, well, set his team up for success. As he goes on to the Ashe this time.
Yeah, Ashe in this defense is definitely very optimal. I mean, especially with the abuse of this high ground, you just want to pump in as much damage. You also get the boop ability to try and push this monkey back from your support line, as we are seeing this monkey jump in. Unfortunately,
it's a good cleave from Mewing, but he needs to live, and he's just about does. But his Reaper is in here. Jay going in, trying to make something of it. Josiah's kind of there by himself. The pressure attempting to be cycled. Astra finds Josiah but loses his life for it. But that may be worse for him and CTL Astra, because that is their tank down. And it's point pressure right now for Frame Perfect. Is it enough though? Grave is coming back in. We know Grave can be a monster to deal with on the flanks. There's definitely a recontest here. Grave on the point. Grave gets flashed but won't die to it just yet. It's a... No one touching though. Astro's just about touching, but Grave not able to touch in time. It's a C9. It's an early capture for Frame Perfect as they look to cleave Grave down, but Grave lives in the back line. But Frame Perfect, well, Grave dies there, and Frame Perfect can begin pushing.
Yeah, ultimately, I feel like Astra rely on this Tracer to stall as much as they can, but once that Tracer was forced out, it was very easy for Frame Perfect to take that point, which was unfortunate because they weren't able to just touch just in time. But it's looking very similar to how Astra started that fight. I mean, 5 minutes on the clock again. It's looking very promising to both teams at the moment.
Indeed, and there's the engage from Mewing. He does have Primal to live it. That Brigitte of Eastern falling dangerously low here, getting Primal. It's a good trick from Mewing, just needs to live. Grave gets a trade onto Quen, but loses his own life for it. Jay will find Grave. Well, Ego will find Josiah. It is a 3v3, but it's a Deadeye from Tail. Finds Astra with it. They just need to kite out the Bob though. The Bob is doing a good job at stalling as Tail tries to hit as many shots as possible. The Bob almost finds Jay. Does enough damage for Ego to finish him off though. Is looking tricky here for Perfect. They do have people coming back, but the defensive spawns from CTL Astra may be just too good here as Astra finds Koan. They're trying to back up here. Frame Perfect. They have the Death Blossom to work with, but it'll be a while till we get to that stage.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the next fight, you do also have Kasune, and you do also have Beat. You are looking very promising. However, from the side of Astra, we do have the support ult as well, and Astra does have this Winston ult. Definitely a really good goal point, but we are seeing this Tyrael
Kitsune being engaged, but the Death Blossom is stunned out by the Brigitte of Eastern. It's such an important stun, as Grave will find Tail. But although Eastern falling low on point and out of position, there's the recall from Grave. Mewing will trade 69 out. Can Grave pull off something amazing here? Finding Koan there, important, and a good stick onto Mewing. Jay, though, will trade Grave out, but it may be too little too late. And too small a team here as Astro continues to chase the Reaper, but ultimately, CTL Astra just about hanging on.
Yeah, it was a good defense from CTL Astra. I mean, still coming into the fight, Frame Perfect did have to use a few ults there, but we are still sitting on this Lucio ult as we did invest quite a few ults from the side of Astra.
The fast engage here, and it's a beat engage. Maybe this is what Frame Perfect have needed all along. But Astro and 6ix9ine both falling to the DPS lineup of Frame Perfect. Grave will trade Koan out, but is it good enough? Is it good enough? Does Grave have another one of those clutch plays in him? He's already made Tail very low. Tail with the Deadeye here. Very low, but will find the Juno. Astro and 6ix9ine though contributing to more counterpick. But the point has already been capped. It's a little too late. And Frame Perfect, in comparison to CTL Astra, have a slightly better time bank to work with map for point C.
Yeah. I completely agree, and I think Astra might cut out here just a little bit, but I think they'll be able to get out. But what happened really well there was Graves done a really good job at contesting, and again gets killed by his own pulse bomb.
Oh, the pulse onto the
in the chat.
The pulse was on the shield, and Grave unfortunately blinked or recalled to it, and loses his life in the process. But look at how deep Frame Perfect are in here. Jay finding both DPSs of CTL Astra. It's a good push in, but there's the Reaper's still hanging out there, but most of the team
looking for an early Death Blossom here.
They are. Look at Jay hiding here.
Yeah. I mean, they're set up really well for this fight here. We have got this sword opening out for 6ix9ine. Are we gonna?
There's the Death Blossom. Death Blossom Mewing though. What a move! Into that Death Blossom, finds two for it. Tail finds Grave. Mewing. Well, if there's no Genji, well, you've got the Primal Blade here, haven't you? There was never a shortage of any blades. And Frame Perfect, 19 seconds extra. Neither teams know how to defend, but they sure as hell have one amazing attack in them.
I mean, I think I'm in the wrong profession because I've called this from the start. As I mentioned earlier, from the start, it looked like Frame Perfect were going to have a really good push here. I mean, the swapping off that Reaper just to counter Astro on that Monkey was definitely what they needed. I mean, just the heavy damage that Reaper just gives off And hard to kill as well. It's really hard to kill a Reaper, especially one who positions correctly and uses their abilities the right way, as we have seen It's Jay doing. It's such great gameplay for both teams. I mean, it's showing how good of a game it is. I mean, the final map in overtime right now. Both got 2 minutes on the clock. I mean, it literally could go to either side right now.
It's amazing for us as casters to be casting a game where the map 5, where not only is it going to a map 5, but it's gonna be a thriller. I get the feeling this is gonna be down to the last fight, Finny.
I agree, Playback. Honestly, like, I'm like on the top of my seat. Like, I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I don't know.
Quite literally, we are as we have CTL Astra starting off on the attack first. Once again, because of the slightly lower time bank, but it's still 2 minutes. Anything can happen in the span of 2 minutes, as Mewing is already very deep in. Grave looks like he's gonna force them to look at a point here, but wait, he's not gonna try to cap here. Jay falls to Ego. Grave baiting the point touch initially, and then trying to go in and help the team on the dive. Mewing falls dangerously low. Josiah will fall to Astra here, and it looks like it's gonna be a hard reset for Frame Perfect for now.
Yeah, they need to do that. Genuinely, like, they need to get out here. It's a lost fight. You don't want to waste any time here, especially coming into the overtime territory. You want to just get back as quick as you can and try and take the point as quick as you can as well. I mean, 1 minute on the clock. This is
oh my goodness! Astro gets burst down! The shotguns, the Cassidy fan, the hammer. Too much pressure as Mewing uses the tank advantage to full advantage, but does he though, as 69 finds the pick onto Josiah. Such a crucial pick here, considering that they had lost their tank. But now we have Astro going back in. Astro finding Tail, almost finding Tail. Grave though gets zapped down by Mewing. An important pick because Grave will not be able to be annoying for the next 15 seconds. Frame Perfect though will need to use it to their full advantage, but 69 already with the Blossom, with the Overclock. It's Deadeye versus the OC, and it looks like the Deadeye, despite not finding a pick, well, they'll not let it find the value either, but Mewing and Josiah both go down. This isn't looking good. This is not looking good for Frame Perfect. Started off strong, but Astro, even using Primal to live, didn't look like he was gonna die there, but he's chances. He's Primal blading the Cassidy, and it's more time respawns and staggers. The Lucio and Kiriko Frame Perfect also finding themselves in a rough pickle here. Even the beat is committed, and Jay is also ahead. And the Primal from Mewing does not look like that was a good Primal at all. And it's point B cap for CTL Astra. Unbelievable. Are we gonna see a 6-pointer here, Finny?
I don't know, Playback. Honestly, I'm on the edge of my chair. I mean, we used so many ults there, and unfortunately it did not get any value, but we still have this Kyrio, we still have this Lucio. We might see another beat engage. I don't know. What's going on?
Well, it is an ult advantage here on Frame Perfect side. Grave is falling dangerously low. The Kitsune is committed from both sides. But whose Kitsune is gonna end up feeling more by Jay falls! Jay falls to 69 there! Trying to use the Death Blossom into the Kitsune, but into 5 people that were all looking at him. Mewing and Quan follow suit shortly later. And Grave finds Tail. Goodness me, we're getting closer and closer to this payload. Seeing it all the way through. Josiah falls to the rail. And goodness me, last fight territory.
And I know Frame Perfect are feeling the pressure right now. We are swapping up to this Junker Queen as well as a last hope. We've got this castle.
It's desperate, but nobody's able to touch. And CTL Astra, with just 2 minutes on the clock, have managed a full cap to 6 points.
No. Oh no, my God. I mean, that was such an intriguing fight there. Fight after fight. I kept on thinking, do you know what? Maybe Frame Perfect are going to take this, actually. Maybe they are going to stop him here, but then some reason we see Grave either get a pick, 6-9 get a pick, Astro, or we see Egotistical keeping his Tangle Boy, Eastern keeping each other up. It's back and back and back. Oh my God. I'm really hoping for Frame Perfect's sake that they manage to get another push to the 6th point. What do you think, Playback?
Well, someone like Egotistical and Astra, they're doing a brilliant job of keeping her team up. The
Yeah.
Monkey, on a 69 as well, who has been unstoppable on this sojourn. It looked like it would have been all over when he didn't find much value with that overclock on point B, early of point B, but
Yeah.
somehow his team's still able to get picks. It's just incredible how they've managed to push this. And they've used their ults pretty well too, even though it looked
Yeah.
like Frame Perfect with the ult advantage.
Had the better
actually
economy. Yeah, we had that beat and we had that castle for the last fight. Unfortunately, we weren't able to touch.
Yeah, it's dire straits now for the side of Frame Perfect. They have 19 seconds extra, but can they utilize them to their full advantage? As Jay and Mewing will already take the point, but they've left their team behind here as Grave blood. The Lucio's not there, and that could be costly. Grave is toying with the backline.
No.
5-3 all by himself. He's even dancing on top of them. Oh, unbelievable. Honestly, so well deserved. Imagine winning a 1v3. Only someone of Grave's caliber could manage that, Finny.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Grave is popping off in their back line. I definitely think they're getting a lot of stress to get on point, but ultimately you've left your team behind there. And Grave just utilized that as quick as they could, getting those 3 picks. I mean, almost having pulse. Are they going to be able to do it again? They are looking to find his poke damage in their back line.
Well, they are de-engaged though from Mewing. Mewing gets booped up twice. Once by the Brigitte and once by the Domina as Josiah and Tail fall. The engagement a complete fail, and we have a pause.
Oh my God, at the peak of this, we have a little pause. As we have seen that someone has lagged out.
Yeah,
No,
we
I
have...
mean, we're coming into a last fight territory. 1 minute on, you do not want someone DCing right now. I reckon Frame Perfect are definitely feeling the pressure at the moment.
They really are. With a minute gone, disconnection, this is going to be rough for them. The closest they are is to building up a primal, but every time Mewing's gone in, the Brigitte's booping him off. The Domina as well, right after. Because he got back up as well. But
the Domina pick, I think, has definitely thrown Frame Perfect a bit for a loop here, because we've not seen Astro on Domina or anything other than maybe Monkey, Diva, and Ball, right? So it's very interesting to see just a Domina pick out of nowhere, but it seems to be working. I mean, the round shield that Domina provides is so broken, in my opinion. But we are getting it ready from both teams, so we're going to find out how Frame Perfect are going to work this, right, Playback?
Most definitely are. Already a minute down. Out of it, and they're still losing players. Look at where Jay is stranded, and 69 executes the Reaper. The ties of the turns have tabled as Jay. The Reaper, the pinnacle of being an executioner, gets executed. It is last fight territory now, Finny.
It is, and honestly, I'm feeling the pressure myself, and I'm not playing Playback.
Oh my goodness me, Tail falling to Grave. Look at how unstoppable Grave looks on this. Oh, we have a pause coming up here. Another pause called for.
yeah, and yet another pause. I mean, as you mentioned earlier, last fight territory. Genuinely, 19 seconds left on the clock, and you are down your Soj, and moving is very low. But you do have this primal. I do feel like he's going to be spamming that triangle button or whatever button it is on PC just to try and get that prime out before he dies. Um,
Whatever button it is, triangle,
whatever.
Y,
Just
Q,
press it. Just
shift,
bloody press it.
just pop it. You've got 19 seconds left on the clock. But
You do not want to get picked off here.
but seeing the way CTL Astra have played this, Grave seems to be basically on a solo mission here. You would think,
Yeah.
always managing to find the hit scan, the supports, especially the carry here. But that's also made possible thanks to how well Astra are holding that high ground, because they're trying to play the Brain Perfect are trying to play this kind of a split here, but Grave is keeping the 2-man, 3-man split in check while Mewing and Jay try to go up there, but it's not really working out because the high ground's
Hmm.
being sustained really well by
I mean,
CTL Astra Sports.
with that dominant shield, as I mentioned earlier, it cuts off all angles from the sides, which makes it really hard for you to try and get like them unless you're fully just jumping on them. But then even then, you have the break to combat it as well, booping, mewing off constantly. But we have got a ready for both teams, and we are going to go back into this last fight territory. 19 seconds. I'm so
We
nervous.
are, we are, and the primal has been popped. He's pressed the button there, but Grave will find Cohen. Does Primal Blade Easton down though? Does someone have point? 6-9 though. The OC looking like it's too strong. Will find Jay. Josiah desperately just about hangs on, but not for long enough as Grave will up. And the Domina pick from Astro, just looking too strong on point right now. Mewing its Kitsune and is not even able to jump back as CTL Astra, with a map that was initially looking close, has shown a dominant round 3 and 4 performance to take this game
Yeah.
3-2.
I mean, what a performance. I mean, we've gone to map 5. Both teams really put all the effort they can into this. But ultimately, we did see CTL Astra take the W, and well deserved in my opinion as well. I mean, as much as I say Frame Perfect done really well, I also think CTL done just as well. It could have went either way, playback, but genuinely, it just came down to that final map and that final overtime points. I just think CTL had that on lock.
Yeah, it looked like Frame Perfect were they were down a fair amount of time on that clock because their defense didn't go well, but then they really showed
Hmm.
up on the attack, and unfortunately they weren't able to quite repeat the same level of defense that they had on point B. They had picks,
Yeah.
but they just couldn't follow up on them. And then CTL Astra clutch from players like 69 and Grave, complete DPS dominance there. Although
Yeah.
it isn't even to say that Frame Perfect's DPSs were not good. They put up an amazing performance.
They did.
Tails,
I mean,
Cassidy
Tail on
was
that cast, oh my god. Were they popping heads left and right? No one was safe from that silver bullet.
goodness
But
me.
speaking of some standout players, we do have an MVP to pick, and I mean, what a selection we have. I mean, should we go through some of them?
We
we
definitely should.
I want to start with Frame Perfect, right? My
Yeah.
personal one is between Mewing and Tail, right? Both performances from Mewing and Tail were just extraordinary. I mean, Tail on that cast, just every time they were in, were just keeping Grave in check as much as they could, allowing their team to be more aggressive because the safe line, the back line is safe with Tail there. But on the other hand, we have Mewing, who was just constantly giving it beans on every tank they played. I just think it's a hard decision from them both, right?
It would be a difficult decision. Mewing, especially on that Diva, and even the
Hmm.
Winston, very, very strong showing overall, and consistent. But Tail, I mean, it's hard to dispute the value he got the moment he came on for that Atlas map. And then
Hmm.
you could tell that he had a tale to tell.
Tailed it.
and he's shown us why. I personally, Cassidy definitely give it to Tail from Frame Perfect.
I agree.
I think the Cassidy when he pulled it out for map 2. It gave
It
Frame
changed,
Perfect
yeah,
a
it
structure.
changed the rhythm for Frame Perfect a little bit. So I agree. Yeah, I think Tail definitely took the MVP. Actually, yeah, I agree for the Cassidy. So CTL Astro. Okay, Astra. Sorry. Um, I mean, my personal pick is like instantly just Grave.
Oh yeah,
I just that tracer just constantly just being an issue. Um, and just constantly just getting the pressure of the point, then being in your backline, and that 3 versus 1 that he that they managed to pull off. I mean,
unbelievable. And it's just not something you see in a DPS player every day. You can see them get value, but to pull off a literal 1v3 like Grave did, I think I'm in agreement because I would I would say that 69 is another great shout for
yeah, I
the
agree.
MVP. He came to life, especially starting maps 3 to 5. I think we saw that Sojourn really come to fruition
Yeah,
and was just finding picks like it was nothing really. Um, he was absolutely on point with it. But I do agree that throughout the whole game, Grave has been a consistently strong performer, consistently annoying
yeah,
in the backline of Frame Perfect. It's a well-deserved MVP, in my opinion, for Grave.
I agree. I think ultimately you could have picked any single player from any single of these teams. Every single one had a really good performance, but I just think these two that we picked, Tail and Grave, just showed a little bit more in certain fights, and really had like a turning point for their team. Um,
Yeah,
but so I think we're happy with that ones, right? I think we're in agreement playback.
yeah, no, most most definitely. I think both teams really entertained us, like us as casters, and I'm sure
Yeah.
the audience as well is was feeling the pressure themselves, and we're not playing.
Yeah. Right, Kaizen. Honestly, thank you so much for watching this amazing performance from both teams. We have had WM on the camera. I have been Finny. That has been playback. And
Uh,
honestly, just don't forget to follow our socials. Stay tuned for future casts as there will be many more thrilling games out there for us to show. Any words before we say goodbye, playback?
Well, I will have to echo what you say, Fanny. It's been a pleasure being here with WM on the cameras, and an absolute joy casting alongside you, Finny. We've
Thank
been
you,
and
thank you.
it's been an amazing game to cast, mind you.
Yeah,
And we hope we can bring you more of the same, Kaizen. Stay tuned and see you guys in the next stream.